Alright, it's that time of the year again where we go back and we look at the landscape of everything with the Switch Lite, and we take a look if it's a good idea, if you should buy one of these things or not. Today we are talking about the Switch Lite, and no, the thumbnail of this video is not clickbait. This can be OLED. This one is not right now, but it's gonna be. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the Switch Lite as a whole in 2024 and whether you should buy one or not. This is a pretty decent intro, I think. What's up, guys? Welcome back, or welcome in for the first... You blew it! What's up, guys? Welcome back, or welcome in for the first time. Do me a favor, if you're new here, jump down to the description of this video. Down there, there's a link to our podcast channel. You can find us live over there every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you miss it, you can check it out on the podcast platform of your choice. On your way back up, make sure you subscribe to this channel. A lot of people think they are. They're not. You do want to be subscribed right now because I bought this Switch Lite and I actually already have Switch Online. So I have a Switch Online 1-year membership with the expansion pack that I'm going to be giving away in a video very soon. We're going to have to go over the whole online stuff and make sure that's still worth your time. So we're going to do a video on that, and in that video, we're going to give this away. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. One more order of business we have to take care of. Before we start this video, we have to thank the sponsor of today's video, MobaPad. MobaPad makes the best Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch. They are my favorite Joy-Cons. They're really the only ones I use now. These are the M6 HDs. They have every single feature that the Joy-Con has, plus more. They've got back buttons. They've got HD rumble. They scan amiibos, clicky buttons. They're super comfortable, and they not only come in this white, they also come in black, they come in pink, and they have removable face plates. They sell those separately too. They have all kinds of great stuff on their website, including awesome controller, a dock, which you can get both of those in a bundle together for a really, really good price. You can get these Joy-Cons along with another set of face plates and a case that fits these and the Switch inside. Also in a bundle for a very good price. Check them out. The links are down below to their website and their Facebook. Make sure you go follow them on Facebook, and thank you to MobaPad for sponsoring this video. Let's talk about the Switch Lite in 2024. Is this something you should even be considering at this point? We know the Switch 2 is on the way. Yes, we know that. But did that stop me from buying a Switch Lite last week? No, it didn't. Because of a few things. We're gonna go over those big things. The reason I bought this in 2024, especially this close to knowing that the Switch 2 is coming out, we're gonna talk about that. A lot of it is the fact that we're gonna make this OLED soon. I'll give you details on it in a second, but we have to go over the rest of things. Yes, we know the Switch 2 is gonna be at least announced before March of 2025. So we are within a very small window of hearing about the Switch 2. My guess is there's probably not gonna be a Switch Lite 2 at launch. We're not gonna get a smaller form factor. So if that is something that you want, you still want this smaller form factor, I would say it's still okay to buy one of these, especially for that reason, because I know I feel this way. I also know my podcast co-host Jeeb, who edits these videos, also feels this way. This is the superior form factor when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. Yes, it's smaller. Yes, you don't have removable Joy-Cons, but this, to me, is the most comfortable way to play Switch, and this is the way I played Switch for a long time. When I first got my Lite, that's how I built this channel. My very first video was going to buy the Lite on launch day, which was what, September 20th, 2019? I think I got the video up 2 days later. That was the thing that started this whole channel. I loved my Switch Lite. I did a ton of videos on Switch Lite stuff. That's probably how you found this channel. If you've been watching for a while, you probably found it looking at Switch Lite videos. If you did find this channel watching Switch Lite videos, leave a comment below. I want to hear about that. But I really like the Switch Lite. The problem is, obviously, I said this the last time we went over this stuff. I stream. Well, I did. I'm kind of streaming still. But you can't dock the Switch Lite. Well, you couldn't dock the Switch Lite. That was the main reason why I moved over to a regular Switch. You know, I didn't want to keep going back and forth from one to the other, even though now with the cloud saves, it's not quite as difficult to go back and forth, but it's still kind of shoddy. It doesn't really transfer everything over exactly how you would want it. It takes a little bit of time sometimes, so sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. So it gets a little bit confusing with that. It's kind of a pain to use more than one Switch. So I just kind of switched over to a regular Nintendo Switch that docked, and then of course we got the OLED. And at that point, there was no going back to this screen. I really like this form factor, but, you know, just looking at the OLED screen compared to this one, there was no way I was going back. So as much as I like the Switch Lite and I really like the accessories for it, the Skull & Co stuff is something I really like. It wasn't practical for me to use anymore. But then I saw this Switch Lite. This Switch Lite kind of changed things for me. It made me kind of look a little deeper into what I may want to do with the rest of my life with the Switch 1, and that's another thing we really need to go into as well. If you're thinking about buying a Switch Lite right now, you have to remember this too. They are going to still put out games for the Switch. They're probably still going to put out some games that come out on the Switch 2. Will probably also go to the original Switch. Now, I don't know how long they're going to do that, but we have seen Sony and Microsoft stay with their legacy system a lot longer than they have in previous generations. I mean, they just now stopped making games for the PS4. They supported that for a long time. They didn't support the Wii U, obviously, because we had different types of media. They basically ported everything over and made us pay full price for it. But now we're gonna have a card slot that's probably gonna fit the Switch 1 cartridges in the Switch 2. Obviously, you won't be able to play Switch 2 games on this, but there's probably going to be a Switch version. So if you want to get something that's small like this and you're really not worried about the full upgrade of the 2, I think you should be all right for a while. And you don't really have to buy a brand new Switch. You don't have to go pay $209 for this and 1 year of Nintendo Switch Online. You can get these used for like $100, sometimes cheaper than that. I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace for $80. And yeah, they do have some stick drift, but if you look up a tutorial online, it is so easy to change the sticks out on these lights. You literally pop the back off, the sticks are right there. It's 2 bolts, a ribbon cable, in, out, easy. So if you had one with drift, you could get replacement sticks, and they now make sticks that are Hall effect, so you won't even have to worry about those drifting ever again. The Switch Lite is definitely still a viable option. It's got all the same power as the regular Switch. I keep forgetting to talk about that because it seems like we're so far in the lifetime of the thing that everybody knows that, but if you're new and you're looking at this, you probably didn't know that. But yes, you can play every Switch game on the Switch Lite. They have the same exact amount of power. So the only thing you're really missing out on is Rumble at this point, because we're going to be able to put some other stuff in here we're going to talk about in a second. But another thing that I was looking into, even if you are somebody who's going to get a Switch 2 when it comes out, this has actually become a pretty nice little device to mod. There's actually a whole scene out there and a bunch of stuff you can do to this where you can be playing PlayStation 2 games, you can play you can play anything you want to emulate, you can play it on this. I've seen people have all kinds of crazy stuff. I'll actually link a video down below. I saw a video this morning. That's what made me bring this part of it up. You guys know I'm not the emulator guy. I can barely even get my PC to run correctly. I don't do emulation, but I know it's very, very possible on this, and the form factor of this and the comfort, it's a really, really good option when it comes to something like that. But the big thing that I found out, and why I really do think at this point, all the reasons why I left the Switch Lite is why I'm going to be returning to the Switch Lite hopefully by the end of this year. It sounds like November. I actually ordered, I'm going to put it up on screen here. Well, Jeeb's going to put it up on screen here. I actually ordered a Switch Lite OLED panel that is going to be going in this Switch Lite. Yes, we are going to do a video on the entire teardown, the whole process. I'm probably going to live stream the whole thing too, so you can watch me struggle live. But from what I see, it doesn't look like it's going to be that big of a deal. There's no soldering involved whatsoever. You just basically unplug the screen, put the new one in. That seems to be just about it. But there's another huge thing that comes with that kit, and it's a new USB-C port that is going to allow you to dock the Nintendo Switch Lite. So this thing will not only have an OLED screen, it's also going to be able to plug into some of those portable docks that you see. Obviously, it still won't fit on the regular dock, but it's going to be able to be docked at 1080p as well. So you will literally have a full-size OLED Switch in the Switch Lite form factor, which is what I thought was going to happen. I really thought Nintendo was going to make their own. I figured a slam dunk for them to do something like that. I really, really wanted one, and the fact that I'm going to have one now, I've already pre-ordered it. I'm going to show you guys where you can get yours if you want it. I'll link that stuff down below as well. They have different options. You can get just the screen with no touch. You can get the screen with touch. You can get the screen without touch and the USB-C port to change it so you can dock it. You can get it with the screen and the touch and the docking capabilities. That's the one I got. It was $85. If you want just the screen and no touch, it's 50 bucks. 50 bucks, and you can go buy, let's say, an $85 to $100 used Switch Lite, probably in pretty good condition. Sticks might be chewed up a little bit. I do have my daughters here. The last time we did this, we talked about my dog. Look at that. Look at that stick. I do not know what she's been chewing on this or something. I don't know what she's done to that, but this stick has seen better days, that's for sure. But if you get one in this condition, yeah, I mean, it's got some slobber on it. It's got a little bit of fingerprints, maybe some cheese puff residue. But you can clean that up. Get one of these cheap, 50 bucks for an OLED screen. You've got a really, really nice handheld device that you can do a whole lot of stuff with. So, in 2024, the end of 2024, probably 2025, by the time you may be watching this, who knows? Yes, I think a Switch Lite is still a very viable option, especially this one, the Gold Zelda Edition. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Hyrule Edition Nintendo Switch Lite. But that is my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments below. Are you still thinking about getting a Switch Lite? Are you just gonna stick with what you have? Wait for the Switch 2, it's coming soon. I know that, but I just always wanted the Switch Lite OLED, and I'm getting one now. But that's gonna do it for this one, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like. Make sure you are subscribed. We'll see you in the next one.